Alright, hello everybody, hello. Welcome to yet another week of UNPL Wildcard, I believe it's called. Yep. Anyways, uh, well, we're hanging out here at the, what is it called? At the highest peak of Paldea because, oh, hello buddies, even though we're probably freezing, because we are actually in finals. Yay! Uh, Anyways, somehow, some way, we managed to make it to finals, even though we ended at third on the overall season, which is fun, or off season, which is fine. I did mention last week that I was pretty sure I was going to be facing Darude, and of course, we are not facing Darude. We're actually facing Fredo and his what is it? Waste Neons, or something like that. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Anyways, we did face Fredo in the regular season, and we did win with a little bit of fortune. That triple axel is an awful move. Um, so we're here to get a rematch, I guess, and we are in that aqua's position where it's a rematch, and you're the one who won. So it might be a little bit hard to prepare because you don't know what to expect from your opponent. Anyways, let me show you the matchup. So, anyways, interesting to note should be that during the last game, Fredo didn't bring any of their Terra captains, which they may actually bring this week or this game, so I had to be mindful of that. During the last game, he brought essentially the top 6 minus Clefairy and just Pachirisu, which is surprisingly bulky, to be honest with you. It can tank hits from Spec Charizard relatively well, which was news to me. But anyways, Sneasel was terrifying with Choiceman. We could play the Choiceman versus Choiceman, mind game with our own Sneasel, but that is a little bit of a thing that I don't want to do. Mostly because Triple Axel would just destroy me if he hits all 3 times, obviously. Notable that my opponent does have very limited access to Stealth Rocks in Clefairy and Sandshrew, meaning that if he wants to bring either one of those, if he wants to bring Stealth Rocks, he will have to bring either one of those, which can be annoying for them, so I had to keep that in mind. This Skuntank is a surprisingly big challenge. It just hits really hard, and so does the Clowitzer. Actually, Clowitzer is probably harder with Mega Launcher ability. Outside of that, Toad Screw can be annoying because, abilities, hazard stacking, rapid spin, all that. My opponent does only have 2 options for removal in the rapid spinner and I believe the Rufflet gets default, so I will have to keep that in mind as well. And then Illumise, he seems to really like it, has been running choice spec sets on it, or offensive sets on it during the season. But like I said, he didn't bring any Terra Capitans versus me. Now, granted, he could bring one of them during this game. I feel like I can handle them, depending on what they are. But it could be a challenging game, especially because they kind of know what they wanna, a little bit better what they wanna do versus me. The last game we brought essentially our top 6 minus Morgrem and for Charizard instead. So we will have to see how we adjust. My strategy last time was to just set up spikes with the Wilding, prevent him from spinning since I ran Terra Ghost, and then just try to break with a Specs Charizard and Choice Scarf Sneasel. And Electaboost was also bulk up to try to set up on them. The one thing I will reflect about that game is that I don't think I used my team very well at least early mid game. End game was pretty good, but early mid game was late game was pretty rough. So I'll have to try to make more use of my entire team. I feel like last time I used Electabuzz a little bit earlier, I could have gotten a better position to end up with a more clean end game. But that's how life is sometimes. Anyways, that is the matchup. That is what I think about it. Let me show you what I'm bringing to the game. Alright, Pokemon number 1 is going to be our captain, the round with 1 pick, Sneasel, Hisui, of course. We are going to bring in once again the choice card set, This is essentially the exact same set that I brought last time with double staff and throw chop just for, I guess, additional coverage. The one thing that I'm changing is I'm bringing Poison Jab this week because I do want a more accurate move instead of having to be forced to click Gunshot. There is a decent chance that he could bring Clefairy just for the rocks. So, I would like to be able to hit accurate moves if I can, or if I don't need to push. We are going to be running in a focus. I am very tempted to run Pickpocket because that would make this Pokemon into a knockoff absorber in case my Scargus move, but at the same time, if the Snizzler gets locked into knockoff because I had to switch this into it, perhaps that wouldn't be the best idea to steal their item and then they are no longer locked into knockoff. Let me see if I remember correctly. A Snizzle with knockoff, that's 63%. What? Well, that's a choice man. But then if you take away his choice man, is doing 42. Maybe I want to IB this a little bit more towards trying to leave knockoff into knockoff. But it seems like a rough calculation. Anyways, that's gonna be Snizzler for now. We'll see if I change it before the game. Pokemon number 2 is going to be our Rambo the Blastoise, who is hopefully here to try to take care of the Snizzle. That's what we're rocking the helmet. Last time I brought a special defensive set I was supposed to deal quote-unquote with Clowitzer, but in practice it proved that it really is not his job to do that. It's just Clowitzer just hits too hard with his other moves, especially if it's specs, which they could bring. So hopefully this will be a switch to Snizzler, as Snizzle has a really hard time getting past this, and if he tries to get past, and if he tries to kill things with Rocky, obviously with Triple Axel, then we can punish it with the Rocky Helmet. As far as moves, I will say I did notice during the last game that my opponent does run very little speed on their Pokemon. Like most of them only run, at least the ones that are not offensive. He just brings like 8 speed EVs, and it's mostly bulk. So we're running a relatively fast Blastoise, or at least fast enough to outspeed a no speed invested Skuntank and hit it with Surf if we have to, especially if we are at what it's called, Torrent Boost. Outside of that, we just need Flip Turn for momentum because he does have 2 water types that take nothing from this. Plus, he likes to run Infestation Marini, so we have to be careful with that. Ice Beam, I guess, is the coverage choice. It does one shot almost always the Toad Screw, which is nice. Granted, I don't know if we will ever be in a situation where we need to do that. But realistically, I don't think that hitting anything else is relatively super important. The only thing that I guess we could consider hitting with the Blastoise will be the Clowitzer. But if I remember correctly, the calculations that I did, even if I were to run some like Dragon Pulse, let me double check. Yeah, Dragon Pulse is not even doing 25% to the Clowitzer. So it's kind of pointless to do that. Versus Clowitzer, we either finish it off with a Torrent boosted Surf, or we just need to switch out. I have to be very careful with the freaking Clowitzer, man. But anyways, that is Blastoise, of course, here to support with rapid spin pivoting and hopefully maybe 1 KO or 2. Although it's unlikely, but you never know. Pokemon number 3 is going to be our Quilladin, the Terra Capitan, designated Terra Capitan for this week. I am going to try to do the same thing that I did during the last game, which is going to be, be Terra Ghost, try to spin blocking and hazard stack him. That being said, we are a little bit different than last time because, I mean, we are bringing pretty much almost the same moves, except instead of bringing Terra Blast Ghost, which is obviously what I brought last time, I don't remember exactly, we're bringing Woodhammer. The main reason for that is because in the last game he ran a Clowitzer that was just fast enough to outspeed a minimally invested Blastoise. So if he does that again versus me this time, Woodhammer would just destroy that Clowitzer. So that's the gist of it, to be honest. Other than that, Super Fang does solid damage, put things into range for most things, since he doesn't have a Ghost type, which is always good. Synthesis for recovery, of course, and Spikes is for stacking. But stacking is usually what I want to do with this Pokemon. Any other week, I will probably run this as my lead. The only problem is that he may actually try to counterfeit this because, you know, we did do lead with this Pokemon and it was a little bit annoying for them during the last game. So yeah, that's gonna be our Willading. Next Pokemon is going to be our boss Lightyear. He is gonna be holding his Eviolite, of course. Uh, this is pretty much the same set that I brought last week, but a little bit with a little bit of a gameplay mentality, like I said. I am running Wild Charge instead of Thunder Punch because and I'm not running Wildcard this week because I don't think that there will be much opportunity to set up, especially knowing that he knew about it. He knows about it last time. Uh, so this combination is actually pretty solid versus their team. The Wild Charge hits pretty hard versus a lot of the team, being that is high base move, quote unquote. I don't like the recoil, but it is what it is. We are running ball switch to people around. If you ever switch in Pachiris into this, then good job. But outside of that, no, the ball switch is pretty good, especially if we need to finish off the stupid Scum Tank. And we don't want to hit it with a physical move to not activate Aftermath. Knockoff, of course, is the coverage move choice, and Ice Punch is 100% for the Toy Screw. If that Toy Screw is not defensive, knockoff into Ice Punch and switch will kill it 100% all the time. Just fantastic. This is probably gonna be my lead, to be honest with you, because even if they lead with a choice card Clobitzer, which I have a sneaky suspicion they're going to bring, I can knock it off and wild charge it, and that should be the end of it. It will probably cost me my electables, but outside that, I think that that would be pretty good. I just want to get rid of that Clobitzer as soon as possible, and then we can go from the rest of the game, right? Anyways, that's gonna be our boss Lightyear. Pokemon number 5 is going to be our Handsome Bros. Holding the Life Orb this time instead of the Choice one like last set. A little bit of a different set. This Pokemon is very good into their team. Realistically, they don't have a very good switch to this outside, maybe a super defensive Sandshrew, and even then it takes a good amount of damage. So instead of bringing a Choice Band, I want to have the flexibility of just switching moves, so this is why we're bringing Life Force this time. Keeping the health is not necessarily great because realistically this Pokemon just dies to anything. So, we'll hopefully try to hit things on the switch and, switch our moves if we are in a position to do so. My opponent does like to, or seems to like to just not switch around too much. So I don't want to be in a position of where I need to stay in with this because that's just difficult. We are bringing Stealth Rocks on this, and hopefully we can set them up this time. And Sucker Punch just for priority. I would like to have some priority on the team somewhere. Tangle Hair, of course, can be very useful to stop a potential sweep from Sneasel, because all his moves make contact outside of maybe Icicle Crash. But if he brings Icicle Crash instead of Triple Axel, I'm happy with that, to be honest with you. Triple Axel is the biggest concern when it comes to that freaking Sneasel. And anyways, last but not least is going to be my favorite Pokemon of all time. Coming to a finals, which is very exciting. We are bringing Toothless the Charizard. I am going to be boring and I'm going to bring pretty much the exact same set that I brought last time with the choice specs. The only difference is that this time instead of running 2 air moves and 2 fire moves, I'm running 1 ground move and Scorching Sands. Same theory as Dugtrio. A lot of his Pokemon that switch into this don't like the Scorching Sands. Unfortunately, it's not as strong as other ground moves. I mean, if this was even air power, it will be a million times better, but it can be useful. I mean, semifinals, Scorching Sand did pretty much beat the, the Pupitar by burning it, so, it can come clutch. But realistically, we're just trying to hit the stab moves. This hits very hard, and he had a really hard time switching into this last time, so this is kind of like the main reason why I think he's gonna bring Choice Scarf Clobitzer. But the matter of fact is that if I don't run choice specs on this, it just doesn't hit hard enough. So yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be the team. I really like it. Hopefully, it can put on a lot of work. Hopefully, we can win another chip as we move closer to the end of the generation. But anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the game. Alright, welcome to the game, everybody. So he brought 2 of his Terra Captains this time. Ooh, this is a very different team than last time. 3 Pokemon that didn't come last time. Last time he didn't bring Skuntank. That's actually pretty good. We're actually pretty happy to see that. Problem is Sandshrew is here, which is Terra Water, which is good to know. But yeah, okay. So he's Terra Water on the Sandshrew, he's Terra Rock on the Illumise, which I guess is for Charizard. So what do I want to lead with here? This is a very interesting lead that he brought. The Sandshrew is particularly annoying, but there's 3. Yeah, okay. So I could lead with you, knock off the Sandshrew. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't prepare for the Sandshrew at all. So my Electabuzz versus Sandshrew. Sweeper, level 100. Ooh, Earthquake can actually kill me through the Eviolite. So, I think that because of their stuff, we're gonna leave Equilibrium. And we'll go from there, I guess. This is a little bit awkward. But, you know, it is gonna be what it's gonna be. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. Hopefully it's a fun game without any hacks. And you know how that goes. It is finals though, so expect a bang. Seco mode is the Illumise. So we immediately go into the Illumise. Okay. So, anyways, Illumise. I know nothing about this Pokemon. So if he's gonna get me, he's gonna get me on the fact that his Pokemon are so weird. Illumise, you get Taunt. You do not get Taunt. You get, you don't get Taunt. So that's the most important part. If you are Choice Scarf, and 252 versus my Quilladin with Bulbos, you're doing 76 if your choice specs and cook, right? Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to Terra and set up my spike immediately. There's no other thing I can do versus this right now. If I Terra into Ghost, he's doing nothing to me. If he's just switching out, then that's a good play on then. Terra into Ghost does prevent his Sandshrew from ever defogging or ever spinning, so... Bro, that is so choice specs, it's not even funny. Holy shit. That is very specs, right? Choice specs. If I Terra Ghost... how did he do so much to me? Huh. Wait a minute, how did he do so much to me? Enemies. Did he crit me? Choice specs. I'm very confused. What are the abilities on this thing? Oh, it's Tinted Lens. Oh, I see. Okay. So I do have to go Charizard here. Charizard does take the hit, right? Tinted Lens. Okay. Charizard. Yeah, Charizard does take the hit. Not nicely, but he's gonna take it. This thing has to be choice specs to have done that much to Quilladin though. Yeah, that's ridiculously specs. Just a Bug Buzz. Okay. Alright. So you're definitely switching here, which is good to know. The thing is, we don't know where you're switching into. This did do 306 minus 211. Let me see. 307 minus 211. 96. Charizard. Bugloss. Huh. That could be annoying. I guess we just had to rip the Hurricane, right? Yep, I'm gonna switch out. Not Sylveon, so it's the Fairy type. It's the Clefairy. And we're gonna miss our hurricane. That's unfortunate. That is quite unfortunate. But it does mean that we can go into you. Perhaps. He could set up rocks here very much so. I'll try again. Okay, so he's special defensive. So Charizard has been neutralized, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is, right? Yeah, this is why I wanted to go to the guy. Anyways, Charizard is useless now, which is unfortunate, very unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. We just had to deal with it. Whatever way we can. We're gonna miss our next hurricane, which is unfortunate, which probably gives him rocks. That is so good for them. It's not even funny. You just go Sneasel and kill something. Could go Sancho, try to spin, but I don't know if that is worth it. I didn't know it would miss a Tempest Lance. So that's unfortunate for me, but it is what it is, you know? But I couldn't do much with it. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. Could go to Clowitzer here. Could go to several things, to be honest. Bless you is Sneasel. Okay. He's gonna take the spike damage, which is good. He's more than likely gonna knock off. Let me see. A Sneasel, Choice Band versus my Charizard. The knockoff will kill. But so with Triple Axle. Do I wanna go Blastoise here? Blastoise. If I go Blastoise here, I take 47 from the knockoff. I do some Rocky Helmet damage. Technically Charizard still can come in and do a little bit of damage. If I just let it kill me, I go Blastoise. And I will have to try to go from there. Potentially go Quilladin, although it is incredibly damaged at this point. He's just gonna click knockoff, which is annoying. Alright, we're gonna try for it. Yeah. Alright, Charizard is dead. If he wasn't paralyzed, I would have saved it, but because he's paralyzed, I don't think there's a point. Yep, and my choice specs. If I go to you, he just goes to Marini, so I have to be very careful where I go to next. We're gonna go to you, and I think we're just gonna click flip turn, to be honest. See what happens, see what happens. Yeah, let's go ahead and flip turn, I guess. I don't think you're staying. If you're staying, that would be just a bad play, but it could win you the game. But keeping the Rocket Helmet of this ensures that he cannot freely just click buttons versus or click triple axle. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Took a decent amount of damage. Right. It will have died. Just annoying. Anyways, if we go to Doctrio here versus this Sneasel, my Sucker Punch stats only 28, 26, so that's not great. Although if we do set up Sucker Punch at some point, we will be good. Anyways, we're gonna go Goldfinger. Yeah, that staying was surprising. They should be going to this. They should be going to Marini here, right? So if they're gonna go Marini, I cannot punish it with this. There's no point of doing this. I could punish it by going into this. If I lose this, that's annoying. Is he willing to give me Sneasler down? It was Marini. Okay, we're gonna try to make a read, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna pull out the gold digger. That's going to M&M. Yeah, okay, he did switch out. Good to know, good to know. Holloway. We don't know what a Holloway is. Holloway is you. Okay. Yep, that works for us. Honestly, I think I just set up another spike. So let's go for it. The idea is to try to never let you rapid spin. But that's easier said than done, right? There goes another spike. If he goes for inspection, that will be annoying. Yeah, okay. I mean, I think we can beat that eventually. Yep. Do we set up another spike? Do we go for the... I think we go for the synthesis this turn, because I think he's gonna go for toxic. Yeah, there's the toxic. Now I don't know how many more turns I'm stuck, but I could, in theory, switch out. That's annoying. I do not know how many more turns I'm stuck, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Let's go for the last spike, I guess. There are later spikes, which could be good for later on. Liquidation, okay. Okay, so we can hopefully stall this. Although the toxic is ranking up. Yep. That's fine. Can we get free? We do not get free. We're gonna go ahead and try to synthesis up. Effective. Critical hit. Hardback institution. Toxic. Yeah. We're still stuck, which is unfortunate. Liquidation. That's a good amount to the Doctor, unfortunately. Liquidation. Can we get free now? Please. Yeah. It's a little annoying, not gonna lie. I'm gonna synthesis again. So they're thinking about switching here, which is interesting. Liquidation. Okay. So all of it is happening today, huh? Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We are free from the infestation. Okay, so do we want to go into you? Do we want to go into you? I feel like he's gonna go for the infestation and whatnot. You don't have a solid. I think I'm gonna go into you. I think he's expecting me to go into the guy. So we're gonna go into our Thunderstruck. just liquidation, yep. And that's a solid amount of damage. I think we're gonna knock off here. I don't think you're staying with this. Because you do kind of want it and need it. Although you could take the hit, but even then it would be good to remove your item. Electabuzz versus Sandshrew. Actually stating. Have you like, yeah. Toxic, okay. It's making good plays. It's making very good plays. In any case, Sandshrew. Here it is, Eviolite, 100. Without the Eviolite, I will do solid damage. So, I mean, we are toxic, and that is what it is. I guess we tried to go for a ball switch. If you go Sandshrew, that will be annoying. I'll try to go for the ball switch. We are gonna kill you in one hit. That's fantastic. Does put me in an awkward position though, because now he has the momentum. So if I go Blastoise, he can go Clawitzer. It would depend on what you are. He could go Clawitzer, he could go Sneasel. He could go Illumise. Actually, Illumise will be the most concerning part. But the reality of things is that this Pokemon is just not very useful right now. Because if I go into this, he just goes Clawitzer. Takes a hit, kills me. I'm gonna have to go Rambo. And we're gonna have to see what they go for. It's Clawitzer with choice specs versus my Blastoise. With Dark Balls, I suppose, I presume. You do more than what we want you to do. It was Illumise, Modest, choice specs. $252, Bug Boss. I am sitting on 196. Bug Boss. That's not kill me. Huh. Do we go for the Miracle? We go for the Miracle. And see what happens. Please don't. Please don't. It didn't kill. Oh, that's gonna be a problem for you, buddy. Yep. And there goes the Illumise. That is good. Holy cow. Blastoise. Good job, my boy. Good job. Okay. Okay. Finally one kill with Miracle with Blastoise. That is very good. That is very good. And technically we could still keep it alive. We will see. We will see. Mostly for the Sandshrew, to be honest with you, because it been annoying to kill. Chad. Chad is Mr. U. Okay. So he took that. I don't know what you are. Which is annoying. Blastoise. Clawitzer. Anyways, it's 156. Electabuzz. She'll kill it with Wild Charge from here. If it's 100 again. This could be Scarf though. And if it's Scarf, it will be annoying. I don't want to sack anything on my team though. This is okay for the guy, and especially if this is faster. I guess I'm just gonna surf here. Okay, you're no choice card. Which means Electabuzz can put on work right now. Okay. Blastoise goes down. That did very minimal damage. But Cloudwitzer is from Dog Trio right now. Dog Trio is doing 63 to 75. Do I feel that you are a 63? I mean, you took 3 layer spike, so you took 25, doing a little bit of damage. If you don't kill, I think that's still okay though, right? If I hit you and I don't kill you, if I hit you and I don't kill you, if I hit you and I don't kill you, I think that's still okay. Electabuzz is good for what here? I think we had to go Buzz Lightyear actually. I feel like the tree is a little bit more valuable. We're just gonna go for the wild charge. If they go into the Sandshrew, then that's fine. They're gonna have to take some damage, at least. You give me this, that will be fantastic. We will see, we will see. Oh, they're just gonna give me this. Perfect. That's excellent. Great. Okay. Yeah, we're taking quite a bit of damage. Quite a bit of damage. Alright, they have still Clefairy, the Sandshrew, and the other guy. The Sneasel, which I don't think that is to entry yet at least. Electabuzz. This is Sandshrew. Level 100, Eviolite. Could just knock you off. He actually goes to this guy. Okay, that's very interesting. So I have to sack something, evidently. But then you could also end up paralyzed with this. Yeah, okay. I mean, it is what it is, you know. He's just gonna knock off. I think the knockoff kills me. But in case you don't, I'm just gonna go for this. Yep. Should kill us. No static, unfortunately. Yep. So if I go to you, I can basically do anything. Close combat. This is the Clefairy. Yeah, I think that's my play. I could go to you and try to Sucker Punch. No, I'm just gonna go to this. Okay. So, we got close combat here. If you go Sandshrew, that would be fantastic. He does have the Clefairy, which is annoying, but we can Poison Jab later. We will see, we will see. All this comes down to Sneasel versus Sneasler, doesn't it? Clefairy seems to be especially defensive though, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Oh no, he actually goes into the Sandshrew. Okay, let's see. That's 25. Oh, that's not enough. That is not quite enough. Okay. Well, even then, we're never letting you spin. We're absolutely never letting you spin. So that Sandshrew is pretty defensive then, right? Because my Sneasel, Sui versus Sandshrew. Yeah, you are pretty defensive. Oh, he might even be impish. Yep. So as long as I don't let you spin, I should be good. The knockoff shouldn't kill as a Quilladin. So we're gonna go back. I mean, it could with the toxic, it probably does, but that is okay. It burns into what? The Clefairy? Yeah, okay. That is an interesting play. I feel I can just Woodhammer you. So we're gonna do that. And if this will have to be Wish Protect, to be honest. Clefairy from Quilladin. Yeah, I don't feel like you are defensive or physically defensive, so a couple wood hammers should help with that. We'll see. It's a shame that no overgrow. That will actually become a bit close right now. Ooh, almost kill it. Yep, take some recall. Healing Wish. Why are we Healing Wishing? The Sneasel? Don't die. Thank you. Okay, cool. I suppose we're Healing Wishing this Sneasel. Although you could try to Healing Wish the Sandshrew. Oh, you're actually gonna Healing Wish the Sandshrew. That is very interesting. That is very interesting. Because I just showed you Woodhammer. Have I not showed you Woodhammer? I think that will make sense. But having showed you Woodhammer, yeah, there's a Woodhammer. And there goes Quilladin, unfortunately. You cannot spin though. It's gonna try the knockoff, that's fine. We should be able to go to you. Here comes the Handsome Brothers. And we Earthquake, right? Yeah, Earthquake is the highest base move. Highest power boost. I'm pretty sure Sneasel kills from there, but I don't want to risk it and lose the game to a bad roll. Yep, that takes care of you. And Sneasel does to entry. GG's to my opponent, man. Ooh, they definitely brought a game. The Illumise definitely got me, but you can never count freaking Blastoise, dude. You can never count freaking Blastoise off. Finally. The entirety of this season, I've been trying to spike stack effectively, and I've been sucking at it. Today was the day that we did it. GG's to my opponent, dude. That was such a good game. At least from my perspective. They brought a very good team. I do feel like they make a couple of sacrifices that they didn't need to make. And I do like the Healing Wish on the Clefairy. I'm sure I knew that it gets it, but I didn't even think about it. However, at that point, I think it was a little bit too late for it. Shout out to the entire team. It's been a great season. Everybody has been performing great. Charizard, I love you, but I'm glad that you decided to not miss any Hurricanes until the finals. But yeah, GG's to my opponent, dude. I don't know what else to say. Like I said, it was a fun season. We give it our all, and we're gonna take the chip to add another one to this, to Gen 9. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next game. Bye now.